The first data structure that we are going to work with and that we are going to implement is called a linked list. So what is a linked list? It is a linear data structure in which, as you can guess from the name, is a linked list of elements called nodes that are connected together in a single file line. A singular node contains data which is usually represented by a value like a number or a string, and a pointer to the next node which helps in maintaining the structure of the list. There are two types of linked lists, a singly linked list and a doubly linked list. In a singly linked list, each node only has reference to the node after it, or the next node. In a doubly linked list, each node has reference to the next node, but it also has reference to the one before it as well, or the previous node. The linked list itself as a whole only needs to know about two nodes in the whole list. For it to work correctly, it needs to know about the head node and the tail node, and it keeps a reference to these nodes by two pointers, which are rightfully called the head pointer and the tail pointer. So that's it. That is what a linked list is. Pretty straightforward, right? So in this section, we are going to want to perform some operations on our linked list so that we can add data to it and retrieve data out of it. The operations that we are going to want to perform are adding a node to the head of the list, and adding a node to the end of the linked list, removing the head, and removing the tail. And as you can see, the head and tail pointers change which node they are pointing to as the nodes are added and removed, so they never lose reference to what the head of the linked list is and what the tail of the linked list is. Another operation that we're going to want to perform on our linked list is searching. We're going to want to be able to search through our linked list to see if a certain piece of data that we are looking for actually exists in our linked list. And so we're going to implement that as well. All of the nodes that we will be creating are going to be represented as JavaScript objects. And here's an example node that we might have. As you can tell, it has three properties on it. It has a data property, which is basically the value that it holds. It has a next property, which references the next node in the linked list. And it has a previous property that references the node previous to this one in the linked list. Just a quick reminder, we will be working with doubly linked lists in this lesson, which is what we are looking at right now. So let's finally get into some code and start creating our doubly linked list.